Welcome to our deep dive into Nordstrom. We've got some fascinating material here, articles, press releases, even some stuff from fashion magazines. We're not just gonna trace their history, but also try to figure out how they're doing in this crazy world of online shopping.
Yeah. It's interesting. We tend to think of Nordstrom as like luxury and high-end fashion, but their story starts way more humbly.
I was surprised to find out they started as a single shoe store
Single shoe store.
back in 1901 in Seattle.
Oh,
Just shoes, no clothes until the 60s.
really?
Yeah, founded by John W. Nordstrom and Carl F. Wallen, and stayed a family business even as it grew, which is interesting.
Yeah. That family element has really shaped who they are. John's sons, Everett and Elmer, took over and really pushed to expand. Even today, family members have key positions. Makes you wonder how that's impacted their decisions over the years.
That's a great question. Definitely adds a layer of complexity to trying to understand their business model. And speaking of their business model, we can't forget Nordstrom Rack. I mean, who hasn't gotten a designer deal there? It's like a retail phenomenon.
Totally. Nordstrom Rack started as just a clearance outlet back in '75. Just a way to, move extra inventory. But then it evolved into something much bigger. It wasn't just discounts. It was like a unique off-price experience.
Yeah, they didn't just dump discounted stuff in a bin. Nordstrom Rack still feels curated, stylish. That's what made it so successful, right? Appealed to shoppers who wanted designer brands but didn't want to pay full price.
It's interesting because their success with Nordstrom Rack kind of inspired other retailers to make their own off-price brands. It changed the retail landscape.
It's like they tapped into a whole new market and redefined it. But then the internet came along and everything changed again. How did Nordstrom deal with that shift to e-commerce?
They were early adopters, actually, which might surprise some people. Nordstrom.com launched back in '98, long before a lot of traditional retailers even thought about online shopping. They, recognized the potential early on.
That's a pretty bold move for a company so rooted in, physical stores. And it paid off. But then they went even further with their digital marketplace, launched in 2023.
Now, this is where it gets interesting. This wasn't just about selling their own brands online. It was about opening their platform up to other vendors. It's a whole different model than, a traditional e-commerce site.
They're creating their own online department store, but with that, Nordstrom seal of approval, It broadens their reach, expands their products, and potentially brings in a whole new customer base.
Exactly. And it puts them in direct competition with giants like Amazon. So the question becomes, can they stand out in this crowded online marketplace? Can they keep that brand identity and customer loyalty when they're not, the only ones controlling the platform?
Those are great questions. They really highlight the challenges and opportunities that come with such a big change.
Speaking of challenges, we can't ignore the retail apocalypse that's been hanging over the industry.
So many traditional department stores are struggling. What's caused this so-called apocalypse? And how does Nordstrom fit into all of that?
It's complicated. E-commerce has definitely played a big part. But there's other stuff, too, like changing consumer habits, the decline of malls,
Yeah.
more competition from, fast fashion.
And their stock price, which is at 22.62 USD
As of
November 29th, 2024, it kind of reflects that uncertainty.
Yeah, it does. But here's the thing. Nordstrom isn't just sitting around waiting. They're actively trying to adapt and change.
Like taking the company public.
Taking the company public.
Yeah, back in '71, wasn't that a big move by Bruce Nordstrom, the grandson of the founder?
Right. Taking the company public in '71 allowed him to, raise capital for expansion and growth. But it also changed things. New pressures, responsibilities.
And Bruce Nordstrom was a big part of launching Nordstrom Rack, too, right?
Yeah, he was.
So he definitely shaped the company. Sadly, he passed away in 2023 at the age of 90, kind of the end of an era for the family.
His legacy is still there, though.
Yeah.
And his influence can still be seen in the company's culture, their commitment to customer service.
Which is something they're famous for, that exceptional customer service. It's almost their, trademark.
And it's a key difference. In a market that's gotten so crowded, consumers have so many choices now. It's not just about offering a good product anymore.
So how does Nordstrom's customer service set them apart? What makes it so special?
You've got personal stylists, free shipping and returns, a flexible price matching policy. They're willing to go the extra mile to make you feel valued.
It's like they're trying to create a more personalized experience. going back to the days of like the small local shop where everyone knew your name.
That's a great analogy. And then you have the Nordy Club, their loyalty program,
Right.
designed to further enhance that connection.
Right. It's not just some basic rewards program. They have exclusive perks, early access to sales, and even that app, Rush the Rack, for early access to new in-store stuff.
It's about building a community,
Yeah.
a feeling of belonging, which is super valuable these days.
So we've got this company with a rich history, a strong family legacy, a commitment to like amazing customer service, and a willingness to adapt to the digital world.
But the question is,
Yeah.
what's next for them?
Right. How do they navigate this crazy retail world? What's their future hold? Stay tuned because we're going to dive into those very questions after. We're back and ready to really dig into what the future holds for Nordstrom. It's a pretty fascinating look at how a traditional retailer can adapt to the changing world of, buying and selling stuff.
It really is. And one thing that stands out is like their willingness to experiment. They're not afraid to try new things, push the boundaries.
Like launching that digital marketplace.
Yeah.
That was a bold move.
It was.
But it also raises questions about how they maintain their reputation for quality and customer service when they're not the only ones, curating the platform anymore.
Right. It's a balancing act. They need to make sure those third-party vendors on the marketplace meet their standards. They can't afford to water down their brand by offering subpar products or experiences.
And they need to figure out how to bring that famous Nordstrom customer service to the online world. It's one thing to give personalized attention in a store, but how do you do that online?
It's a challenge for any retailer going digital. But I think Nordstrom's in a good spot to figure it out. They've already shown they're committed to integrating their online and offline experiences.
Like with their BOPUS program, buy online, pick up in store.
Right.
And that Rush the Rack app, which gives Nordy Club members early access to stuff in the store.
Exactly. Those are great examples of how they're kind of blurring the lines between physical and digital, creating more seamless and convenient experience for the customer.
And they're still investing in tech and innovation. But looking beyond the digital, what other opportunities are there for Nordstrom to grow?
Well, one area that's becoming super important for retailers is sustainability.
Sustainability.
Yeah, customers are more aware than ever about the environmental and social impact of what they buy.
It's not just about the product, it's about the values of the brand.
Exactly. And Nordstrom has already taken some steps in this direction. They have initiatives around ethical sourcing, reducing waste, and promoting circular fashion.
But there's always room to do more. Could they become a leader in sustainable retail? Set a new standard?
I think they could. It would take a big commitment, though.
Uh-huh.
Resources, strategy, the whole 9 yards.
Yeah.
But if they could pull it off, it would really resonate with those customers who are looking to, shop their values.
And it's not just about doing the right thing. It's good for business, too. Sustainability can save money, make things more efficient, and boost their reputation.
For sure. It's a win-win. It's something Nordstrom could use to stand out in the crowd.
So digital expansion, focus on sustainability. But what about their physical stores? They have a lot of them, and the traditional department store model is, it's facing challenges.
Right. And this is where Nordstrom has a real chance to redefine what a physical store can be. It's not just a place to buy stuff anymore. It's about the experience.
So less about rows of clothes and more about interactive displays, events, maybe even community spaces.
Exactly. Turn those stores into destinations, places where people want to hang out, even if they don't buy anything.
It's about that emotional connection with the brand, something online stores can't really replicate.
Right. And it plays to Nordstrom's strengths, their customer service, their personalized approach, their curated selection.
It's interesting to think about how they could use those strengths to create a truly unique and engaging in-store experience.
And it's not just about getting new customers. It's about keeping the ones they have. Building loyalty is crucial when there are so many options out there.
So, as we think about Nordstrom's future, it seems like they're at a crossroads. They have this long history, a solid base, but they're also facing big challenges and a rapidly changing world.
And it's in that space, that challenge and change, where real innovation happens.
Which takes us back to the question we asked earlier, what does Nordstrom's next chapter look like?
That's what makes this whole deep dive so interesting. We're not just looking at the past, we're trying to figure out where they are now and where they might be going.
And to do that, we need to think about the bigger picture, not just the company itself.
Right.
The whole retail landscape is always evolving, consumer tastes are shifting, Tech is disrupting everything.
Absolutely.
So how does Nordstrom deal with all this? How do they stay relevant and successful when everything's changing so fast?
The key, I think, is to embrace change. Be adaptable. Be willing to experiment.
And never forget their core values, that focus on customer service, quality, and experience. Those are the things that have made them stand out for over 100 years.
Exactly. Those are the things that will guide them as they move forward.
And with that, we come to the most important part of this deep dive. You, the listener. We've looked at Nordstrom's history, analyzed their present, and thought about their future.
But now is your turn. Now it's time to turn things inward. What sticks out to you? What did you learn?
What does Nordstrom's story tell you about business? The power of adapting and, staying ahead in a world that never stops changing.
We've given you the puzzle pieces.
Yeah.
Now it's up to you to put them together.
The value of this deep dive isn't just about, learning stuff. It's about using it.
Taking what we've discussed and using it to make your own decisions, strategies, whatever.
So as we wrap up this look at Nordstrom, we want to leave you with one last thought. Knowing what you know now, do you think Nordstrom's in a good place for the future of retail? What's their next big move going to be?
That's the big question, right? They've been really good at adapting.
They have.
But retail is constantly changing. Predicting the future is tough.
Like trying to hit a moving target. But based on what we've talked about, what are some possibilities?
Well, one option is they go all in on personalized experiences, online and in stores. Imagine the world where your Nordstrom experience is completely tailored to you, your preferences, your style, even your values.
That would be amazing. It's like having your own personal stylist and shopper all in one.
Exactly. They could use, data and tech to create a truly custom experience, from product recommendations to events and workshops.
And they could turn their stores into these experiential hubs where people can connect with the brand on a deeper level.
Think interactive displays, pop-ups, styling sessions, even community gatherings. It's about creating a sense of belonging, a place where people want to be and connect with others who share their interests.
That's a really cool idea. It's almost like they'd be going beyond just retail and into, lifestyle.
And that could really set them apart. In a world where people are looking for more than just stuff to buy.
Another path they could take is to become a leader in sustainable fashion. We talked about how people are becoming more aware of the environmental and social impact of what they buy.
Definitely. Nordstrom could really tap into that by making sustainability a core part of who they are. They could work with ethical and eco-conscious designers, do circular fashion initiatives, even just teach their customers about why sustainability matters.
Imagine if they were known as the place to go for sustainable fashion. That'd be a powerful message.
It would. It would set them apart and attract customers who are looking to shop according to their values.
So personalized experiences, sustainable fashion, anything else that could be a game changer for Nordstrom.
Well, there's always technology. We've seen them embrace e-commerce and build that digital marketplace. But what if they pushed even further?
What do you mean?
Imagine incorporating virtual reality or augmented reality into shopping. People could try on clothes virtually, see how furniture would look in their homes, even attend fashion shows from their couch.
Wow, that would totally change how we shop.
And it would give Nordstrom a big advantage.
It's exciting to think about all the possibilities, and that's what makes this deep dive so interesting. It's not just about looking back, but looking ahead.
And it's something we're all a part of. As shoppers, we have a say in the future of retail, with our choices and, our voices.
So as we wrap up our look at Nordstrom, we leave you with this. What role do you want to play in shaping the future of retail? What kind of shopping experience do you imagine for yourself and for, future generations?
Keep those questions in mind as you shop, because in the end, the future of retail is up to all of us.
That's it for our deep dive into Nordstrom. We hope you learned something and maybe even started asking some new questions. Remember, this was just a taste of their story, a little exploration just for you. Keep exploring, keep asking questions, and keep discovering the fascinating world of retail.
Today is your lucky day. Today is the day that our $3 website works for you, paying you directly to your PayPal daily. Imagine $3 ongoing continuous payments to your PayPal account. Imagine falling asleep and waking up to $300 in your PayPal account. How would this make you feel? How could this help you? What bills could you pay? What kind of fun could you have? What does that retirement look like now? All for a one-time payment of $3. This website is DFY done for you, fully built and completely hosted, and never stops collecting payments for you. You have spent $3 on coffee on a regular, but that coffee won't help you create multiple streams of income. Click the link below.